Good day, everyone. I was just making a short video, but I see there's actually quite a lot of news that comes through this week. Starting like tomorrow morning, we will have news that come out of China. For me, the most important part is the industrial production because that news, the Chinese industrial production, will definitely have an effect on the commodity currencies and commodities itself. Then there's the Australian minutes that also come through out of the Reserve Bank of Australia. That is also very important. And then you have the CPI out of Britain. I think it's around Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. Let me just make sure. Yeah, on Wednesday, the inflation rate that comes out of Britain, and then also the inflation rate that comes out of Europe. That is at the same day on Wednesday. And then you have also the inflation of Canada that comes out. Then you have the Fed that possibly will cut their the rate cut. It looks like they will have a rate cut. Then you have the Australian unemployment. You have also New Zealand growth rate, British retail sales, British interest rates, and then also you will have the Chinese interest rates. That will be fascinating, and that will be on Friday. Now, this all I wrote it down now, and because I will see what news is ahead this week, that's why I was just putting it out. But what for me is fascinating is also here again with forex factory, because the news that I just mentioned, I got about 10 different news that is important. Here you have one. These guys don't even make the Chinese news important. That's for me fascinating. Um, and also the last part, because on Friday that news of China comes out of the interest rates, there is nothing here. So guys, please, as I said, if you guys trade with Forex Factory or investing.com or those funny calendars, you guys will definitely not win. That's definitely the case. You will not win. They don't even have the New Zealand growth rate here on as important news. As I always say, you will go absolutely nowhere if you trade with Forex Factory. But just to make the video short, I will do a few, which is actually important for me, maybe two of them. The one is the Chinese industrial, which will be tomorrow at 4 a.m. Now, there will be a bit of confusion with tomorrow because of the Saudi Arabia that had that incident with the drone, and they need to shut down about half of their capacity of oil. So that will be actually a mixed bag, even though this news will come through also tomorrow. So it will be a very up and down market tomorrow, but definitely oil will go up. And also the Canadian dollar will go up. But in any case, just for interest sake, the industrial production here in China, as they say, the forecast is 5%. The previous was 4.8, and the forecast is 5%. Now, normally this news for me is important because if that news come out positive here, say it beats the forecast, you will see the Canadian dollar, Australian, and Canadian dollar will go up. Even the rand will go up. But if that news is negative, those three will definitely go down, which they are known as the commodity currencies. So this is always my interesting news that comes through. And then the other two that I want to do, it is the inflation of Britain that comes out on Wednesday. This one will they say, yeah, it's 1.9 will be the forecast. Oh, that one is a bit touch and go. 1.9 is a forecast, and also the British pound is down for the last 2-3 months. This will be a very difficult one to trade with. The best thing is to wait rather for the news to come out and then trade. But I think it will be slightly a bit higher than the 1.9 as what is forecast here, because I think Britain do have a bit of bad inflation, and I think that will push this forecast, or the actual maybe come out maybe a bit higher, or maybe as forecast, but definitely not lower. Europe, Europe inflation rate. Only God knows what goes on here. But I think euro inflation, they actually have a nice forecast here, 1.1. I think it will be exactly the same. Only the extra stimulus that they put in, I think last week, that will only show effect maybe 3 months from now or so. But for now, honestly, the inflation rate in Europe is basically dead. Is absolutely dead. The last one that I want to do is the Federal Reserve. Now they're cutting interest rates from 2% to 2.25%. Now, this thing is for me is actually, it's okay. They need to cut. The inflation is slightly low, and surely they will cut. But it's not that inflation is really that bad. The inflation is close to 2%. So I think the Federal Reserve actually just moved interest rates. I don't know for what reason so quickly. But well, that is actually will actually be very good for the dollar if they cut the interest rates, because it shows that the economy is getting facing a bit of a deflation. The other thing is also the trade war that currently they're going on, and that's why they are cutting maybe. But normally, that, as I see, the trade war doesn't have any effect on anything. They said a global slowdown because of the trade war. This is a very normal trend that I see globally happen since 2014. Everything is slowing down, so that's why I don't see any effect of the trade war. It's just a normal trend actually. But honestly speaking, there's a lot of news this week that comes through. Even here, you have the Australian unemployment, you have British retail sales, you have New Zealand growth rate, China's interest rates. That will be the big one for me on Friday. But please be careful for this week with the news, especially the Chinese industrial production, as I mentioned in the beginning, because those ones have a massive effect. The Chinese industrial production have a massive effect on the commodity currencies and commodities itself when it comes out. So all the best for this week, and yeah, all the best for this week, and please trade as low volumes as possible, because it will be a very busy week this week. Cheers and bye for now.